Hey, folks, we got the lovely Kim Gates here at the Commodore for After Hours series. We're going to play a song for you guys, I think. Hey, Kim?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I see conclusion to all this confusion of mine. But you and I both know it's only the warm glow of wine that's got you to feeling this way. I don't care, I want you to stay. So just hold me and tell me you'll be here to love me today. Children are dancing, gamblers are chancing their all. Windows accusing, the door of abusing the wall. Who cares what the night watchmen say? The stage is all set for the play. So just hold me and tell me you'll be here to love me today. Come and gone, a few stars hold on to the sky. The wind's running free, but it ain't up to me to ask why. The poets are demanding their pay. They left me with nothing to say, except hold me and tell me you'll be here to love me today. Except hold me and tell me you'll be here to love me today. Except hold me and tell me you'll be here to love me today.
That sounded pretty good. So, Kim Gates, you describe yourself as an accidental musician. You weren't actually initially introduced into music in your early life. You just said you were around the campfire playing songs, and after you had your daughter, you decided to start playing music. Could you share a little bit about yourself, where you're from?
I was born just a few blocks, actually, from where we are right now, the Edmonton General Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like literally just a few blocks away. Yeah, I grew up in Edmonton, an Edmontonian, went to school here, went to college here, eventually became a materials technologist and worked in materials research for 10 years about.
A decade.
Yeah, and then tech crashed, and I got into oil and gas and worked in oil and gas. Again, in my career as a technologist, a materials technologist, and a failure analyst. I became a drilling analyst, and then became a technical trainer. And then oil crashed, and all of a sudden there was no work, and I had just had a baby, so I stayed home, became a stay-at-home dad, and I played music to get out of the house. So I'd get out of the house in the evenings and go to open stages, and eventually somebody said, "Hey, could you host this open stage?" And I said, "Okay," and that was my first paycheck as a musician, I guess.
Yeah, that was my next question, actually. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my accidental musician thing. That's where it came from. I never planned to be a musician. I played campfire guitar with my buddies, and we'd sit around and we'd sing songs.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
Thank you. Trade all your freedom for comfort, to find that your comfort's no comfort at all. You can trade all your comfort for freedom, still sound as sad as a woeful wolf's call. The only sure thing in life is its ending, and the sorrows you'll cause and regret. And at the end each day, I suggest that you pray you can get old enough to forget. You can trade all your meaning for moments, immediate joy and feeling alive. You can trade all your moments for meaning, find you've not lived when you finally arrive. Tell you that the secret is balance between the goals in your life and your fun. But in the lives that they cook, you will find if you look that it's more often said than it's done. You can sell your contentment to fund your ambition and lose all you once held so dear. Hold your contentment while commercials and sirens sing a better life song in your ear. In the end, they both leave you wanting, wondering what was it all for. And when you get to that ridge, make forgiveness your bridge from where you are to where you wonder no more. Can outwork experience, and youth has a wonder its own. But life ain't fair, and abruptly will share with you one day how little you've known. Sure thing in life is its ending, and the the sorrows you'll cause and regret. At the end of the day, I suggest that you pray you can get old enough to forget. Old enough to forget. Old enough to forget.
This is my next question here. When did you start writing music? And what initially inspired you to write Help Me Get Home album?
So writing music, I've been a writer for most of my life. At one point I was gonna go to university and take journalism. I've always had a thing for words. I always had a thing for the written word. Always loved poetry. That's always been a passion, and just the art of putting words together in a way that evokes emotion, and that art of taking the time to choose the right word.
So how old were you when you were doing writing like this?
I started a lot of, probably, early teens,
Okay.
Like 13. Yeah, I think I've probably started doing, writing as an art form in, probably somewhere around grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, something like that.
Did you get it from family or anyone, or where did you get that
No,
passion for
that
writing?
was that all came out of I loved listening to songwriters growing up.
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of musical guidance growing up, but very early I was fortunate enough that I just fell in love with the music of Billy Joel, and so a lot of my songwriting, if I go back far enough, is like Billy Joel, and then turns out that I might have picked up a lot of things from Dr. Hook. My dad was a Dr. Hook fan. The one thing that my dad listened to was like Dr. Hook. And so there was like a bunch of Dr. Hook stuff. And it turns out that, yeah, some of my songs, maybe there's some Dr. Hook type storytelling in them, I don't know. But yeah, that's some of where it comes from, I think.
Yeah.
This is my song. This is my song for those people who didn't start out in Alberta. Not everybody who makes Alberta so great to be at starts out here. People may fly, they get a job here and move here. Maybe they go to school here. Maybe they meet somebody, but not everybody who, cleans the hospitals or cooks the food or builds the roads or fixes the plumbing. Not everybody starts out in Alberta, and they leave people behind, and this song goes out to all of them. It's based on an almost true story, and it's called Don't Let Me Die in Alberta, and it's the happiest song I write. And it's still about death.
December 24th, he's back from the north, loaded down with toys for his kids. From the look of the man and one look at his hands, you knew he knew what hard work is. He'd be up the whole night on 3 or 4 flights it took to get out to the east. Frequent flyers will claim to have said things on a plane you'd only have said to your priest. Well, we barely departed, that's when it started, the turbulence, and he bowed his head. And it came and it went as the plane nearly bent, and these are the words that he said. And he said, don't let me die in Alberta, a place that's been so good to me. 'Cause if I gotta go, well, I want you to know that there's one place that I'd rather be. Let me die close to my mama, all of my cousins, and my sweet Auntie Ree. Don't let me die in Alberta, want to die close to the sea. Now Manitobans may fight under Golden Boy's light, the old Bessboroughs in Saskatoon. And those Great Lake kids know that that lake effect snow will make you as mad as a loon. Now none of these places are better, no they ain't worse, they just ain't the same. 'Cause the smell of the ocean's like a magic potion that helps me remember my name. So I say, don't let me die in Alberta, a place that's been so good to me. 'Cause if I gotta go, well, I want you to know that there's one place that I'd rather be. Let me die close to my mama and all of my cousins and my sweet Auntie Ree. Don't let me die in Alberta, I want to die close to the sea. Things Alberta offers makes kings of her paupers, with her mountains, her fields of gold. And if you're young and you're limber, her oil and her timber make Alberta a great place to grow old. Now you can do as in Rome and make her your home as you move. You start life anew, but at the end of your life and your work and your strife, no home but your family will do. So I say, don't let me die in Alberta, a place that's been so good to me. 'Cause if I gotta go, well, I want you to know that there's one place that I'd rather be. Let me die close to my mama and all of my cousins and my sweet Auntie Ree. Don't let me die in Alberta, I want to die close to the sea. Oh, don't let me die in Alberta, I want to die close to the sea. Oh, don't let me die in Alberta, because you know the words by now. I wanna die close to the sea. Thank you very much. There we go.
Excellent. Okay, before we do